with physical defense she's faced at the professional level and voiced frustration with the league's officiating, recently telling reporters, quote, "I feel like I'm getting hammered and everybody is physical with me, and opponents get away with things that other people don't get away with." That's what Caitlin Clark...
All right, tell me the truth. This season, how many of you saw Caitlin Clark lead the WNBA? Because the league was really stunned when she revealed some fairly stunning news. Guys, she's officially had enough. She's going to be gone forever.
What I am upset about is like, hey man, your meal ticket is under constant attack. There's been dirty plays all season.
Consider it. She pulled a team that hadn't made it to the playoffs in a decade or so. To be honest, she probably wasn't even deserving of this league. Attendance records were broken by her. Her shirt literally became a bestseller, and ticket sales skyrocketed. What did she receive in exchange, then? A shoulder, a cheap eye poke, a 6-point technical foul for being impolite, and these completely unfounded charges of racism. It's crazy.
Those guys, they're the racists, when really, y'all are the racists. The people coming up with excuses to hate Caitlin Clark and the new fan base that she brought.
However, what was the last straw? What caused her to suddenly deliver this bombshell, and what truly shattered her? What specifically did she say that made it obvious that she was finished? Really, I would probably pack my bags as well if that's the kind of gratitude you receive for making the league a must-watch. You guys, let's get into the specifics.
She's just not built for the physicality of this league. Yeah, and she's not quick enough to get away from the physicality.
All right, let's be honest. This was obvious from the beginning. It was during that devastating playoff elimination that she reached her breaking point. It was difficult for the Indiana Fever to lose to the Connecticut Sun. To be honest, though, Caitlin Clark had been becoming frustrated for weeks before to that game.
She's on the wrong team. She's got the wrong skill set to handle the physicality of that league. And she's a rookie.
Clark was playing as if her life depended on it, and the game ended 87-81. She grabbed 7 rebounds, scored 29 points, and dished out 10 assists. It seemed as though her teammates chose to simply take a nap while she was attempting to win the game alone. Her crew was just fumbling around, missing easy shots, and making all these beginner mistakes while she was out there acting like a one-woman army.
Clark was assaulted yesterday in her very first playoff game in the WNBA.
Are you serious? Do you not agree with Gino? That night's Tommy Fagbina performance was a veritable horror show. She botched everything, making stupid blunders like breaking the shot clock at the worst possible time. The Fever needed to pick up speed, and now she was standing around looking very disoriented. Went 0 for 3 and essentially gave the ball back to the Sun. Watching things fall apart while Clark was out there giving it her best was awful. Her teammates would trip over their own feet, pass it back to her, and give her that pathetic oops, my bad face whenever she made a clutch 3 or made a crazy play. Her body language made it clear. Every turnover and every miss felt like a kick to the belly. Not that she didn't show up either. She played all out, high-intensity basketball for 40 minutes straight, but it wasn't enough.
Important that we point this out. One of the things that I brought up this morning in talking about Caitlin Clark is that some of the players, you want to use the word jealousy, fine. You want to use the word...
Clark was simply standing there with his shoulders hunched and his eyes fixed on the scoreboard when the final siren sounded. At that moment, it became evident that this was more than a simple defeat. It served as a major wake-up call. She came to the realization that without a squad that could really support her, no matter how hard she worked or how many incredible plays she made, it would never be enough. Guys, it wasn't simply the end of their postseason run. Her patience had run out.
If Caitlin Clark is the quote-unquote savior, if she's the golden girl, milk it!
Reality is knocking on the door of the porta potty. The truth is finally coming to the light. The same light that is going to be dimming here in about 12 hours when Caitlin Clark is eliminated from the play.
The WNBA completely lost it, and that's crazy. When Caitlin Clark declared that she was going to Europe rather than simply quitting the league. Yes, you heard correctly. This league has never seen a more amazing rookie than the one packing her things and declaring, "I'm out." And to be honest, you can't blame her with all the stress, cheap shots, and constant turmoil she's had to endure. Only a few days after the Fever's devastating playoff loss to the Sun, Clark made the decision to press the reset button. And it wasn't shocking at all, in my opinion.
There were regular season games this season where Caitlin Clark drew more than 1.8 million viewers. However, I hope Kat Engelbert is ready for disappointment because there's a hell of a lot more of it on the way.
On September 29th, 2025, she announced during a very somber press conference that she would be relocating overseas for the upcoming season. It was just visible. She was emotionally, psychologically, and completely worn out. Nothing was sugarcoated by her. She blasted the league directly for the bad officiating, the fact that she was not shielded from all the foul acts, and the incessant abuse she received on and off the court. She seemed to be simply outlining everything. "Yeah, I'm leaving because you guys made this whole situation unbearable," is the general gist.
This in its proper perspective. When I think about Caitlin Clark, the operative word that comes to my mind is.
Here's the problem, though. Everyone must understand that this is not only a loss for the Indiana Fever but a huge financial and PR disaster for the league as a whole. Do you recall Clark's initial appearance before the court in May? The number of attendees and ticket sales soared. The Indiana Fever games quickly gained popularity as must-see occasions. Guys, her rookie season was more than simply a debut. It was a complete and utter phenomenon.
Fever, all right, with Caitlin Clark, led the league in attendance both home and on the road. Fever averaged.
Take this. In her first season, Clark alone attracted almost 500,000 spectators. 500,000 people, one rookie. Really, take a moment to process that. She wasn't merely a player. She was the star of the show. The league's completely unexpected rise in popularity was fueled by her. Additionally, ticket sales increased by a crazy 60%. And every single arena where she performed was completely full.
The most dominant team in the league. They can't draw 500,000 viewers for a playoff game. Atlanta Dreamers and the New York Liberals. Again, the Liberals. They supposedly have stars. Remember when ESPN claimed that the Liberals had the new Big Three? Dreamers, Liberals, 410,000 viewers. The other game was the Phoenix Masculines and the Minnesota.
Additionally, it went beyond simply filling seats. Clark was an absolute money-making and merchandising machine. When her jersey was released, jersey sales, which had been rather low for years, skyrocketed. Her jersey actually became the best-selling jersey in league history by August 2024, surpassing the records of legendary players like Sue Bird and Diana Taurasi. The home court of the Fever, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, went from being a ghost town to having the most expensive tickets in town, with fans paying $200 for courtside seats alone. Thus, Clark was doing more than simply creating history. For the WNBA, she was earning a lot of money.
And you're not making the revenue, and you're not, giving people the entertainment that they want, then you're not going to make any money, and your league is.
However, all of that is simply gone now that Clark is departing for Europe. A financial collapse of the WNBA is a real possibility. Take a look at the figures. Prior to Clark's arrival in 2024, Indiana's average attendance per game in 2023 was a pitiful 3,000. It soared to 15,000 per game with her. That is an incredible 400% growth. During the regular season, her appearance alone generated almost $5 million in ticket sales. Those numbers are just going to disappear without her. Folks, this goes beyond simply losing a celebrity. A golden goose is being lost.
I'm simply saying the issue is about marketing versus basketball. The merits of playing basketball compared to the merits of bringing marketing into the equation to influence potential decisions.
Furthermore, Clark's influence extended beyond products. A startling 1.5 million people saw the Fever's June 2025 ESPN telecast against the New York Liberty. That's more than your average TNT NBA game. Guys, even from those major star-studded bouts like Stewart versus Aya Wilson or Inoue versus Plum, her games were drawing more viewers than the league used to. What did she really receive after everything she did? Start counting since Alyssa Thomas was the first to virtually yell into the air that Clark's popularity was only due to racial biases.
Honestly, it's been a lot of nonsense. I think in my 11-year career, I've never experienced the racial comments from the Indiana Fever fan base. We had her face on a serious matter that happened in this world, and it's unacceptable, honestly. And there's no place for it.
She essentially asserted that Clark's dominance in a predominantly black sport was the primary reason why people were so excited about her. Please pardon me. I suppose that breaking records and scoring 35 points a game are now meaningless. Really?
An attack on Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark's the wrong face for this league because her fans are so racist. Where have I heard this argument before? Oh, Donald Trump may be fine, but all the MAGA people, they're terrible.
Therefore, it appears that the issue is having the incorrect skin tone. Even if you're gifted, put in more effort than anyone else and completely control the court. What a farce. He has 14,000 followers, to be honest.
14,000 followers. And it's really easy to ignore, and most people don't know who she is in the sports world. The only reason why people even know who she is because of Caitlin Clark. And she still only got 14,000 followers on Twitter. She doesn't have much of a brand.
But really, that was only the start. Diana Carrington went to a whole new level of filthy during the first playoff game. Rather than simply fouling Clark, she actually stabbed her in the eye, temporarily blinding her. And, guess what? The officials did not call a single foul. As if she hadn't simply turned a basketball game into a cheap wrestling bout, Carrington was just strutting around. No repercussions for what she did. Clark, meanwhile, was out there staggering around as if she had just been blasted with pepper. Therefore, it's likely that the thought of simply moving to Europe struck her out of the blue. And to be honest, it seems like she's probably making the greatest choice possible.